Very good morning, cadets. Hope you are all doing well and gone through all the videos of previous class. And this video is for 5th July, Monday. So in the last few classes, I explained the topic British East India Company and various developments related to the British East India Company. And we are in chapter number 2 from history, that is trade to territory, expansion of company's power. If you remember, in the last few video sessions, we understood that how the British East India Company, a trading company, turned into ultimate rulers. So I covered the topics like Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar, Anglo-Mysore Wars, Anglo-Maratha Wars, war in Afghanistan area, war with Sindh and Punjab, annexation of Punjab after death of Maharana Ranjit Singh. So step by step British conquered territory in India, and finally even they received the power of Diwani of Bengal, that is the right to collect the tax. And with the right to collect the tax, the British turned into the real administrators in India. Today let us understand what is doctrine of lapse, the policy of doctrine of lapse. In the previous few video sessions, I explained you about subsidiary alliance system. What is subsidiary alliance system? Can you recall? According to subsidiary alliance system, if any Indian kingdom signed a pact or an agreement with the British company, that kingdom is not allowed to maintain independent or their own army. So in the crisis or during the war, British East India Company's army is given to the king who signed the subsidiary alliance system, and for that he will pay subsidiary dues. So subsidiary alliance system, if a king is failed to pay the subsidiary dues, the part of his kingdom will be annexed by the British company. So this is what subsidiary alliance system. Just to recall, I just briefly explained to you. Go through the previous video and clearly explained about subsidiary alliance system. Today let us understand what is doctrine of lapse. British annexed territories in India in two ways. One is by war, second is by diplomatic efforts, that is by policies. One such policy, that is subsidiary alliance, and the second policy is doctrine of lapse. So what is doctrine of lapse, who introduced it, and how many kingdoms are annexed under the policy of doctrine of lapse? Let us study. The final wave of annexation occurred under Dalhousie, who was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856. So the final annexation is done by Dalhousie, was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856. And Governor General Lord Dalhousie, he designed a policy that came to be known as doctrine of lapse. So here what you have to understand, Dalhousie, Governor General of British East India Company. But after 1858, the officers who controlled Indian administration are called as viceroys, because they were not given power to introduce policy, rather they have to implement the policy as viceroys or the representatives of British Queen. The doctrine of lapse. What is doctrine of lapse? Let us understand. The doctrine of lapse declared that if an Indian ruler died without a male heir, his kingdom would be lapse. So what is doctrine of lapse? Doctrine of lapse is nothing but, if any Indian king died without having a son or a successor, then his kingdom would be lapse. Means he will lose the power to rule that kingdom, and what will happen to the kingdom? And that kingdom will be the part of East India Company's territory. So you can understand the policy of doctrine of lapse, how one-sided policy, because who are the British to decide about the administration in India or in those regional kingdoms who don't have a male child. But of course today you can ask, because today such policies cannot be introduced, because we are in a democratic or a elected government. But before independence we were ruled by the British, so whatever the rule and regulations is they are making supposed to be final. So according to doctrine of lapse, kingdom after kingdom annexed by the British just by applying the policy of doctrine of lapse. So several kingdoms annexed under the doctrine of lapse policy. So please write down the kingdoms annexed under the doctrine of lapse: Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Nagpur and Jhansi. Satara annexed in the year 1848, Sambalpur annexed in 1850, Udaipur annexed in 1852, Nagpur annexed in 1853 and Jhansi annexed in 1854. So the British East India Company annexed several kingdoms just under the policy of doctrine of lapse without waging any wars. Finally, in 1856, the company also took over Awadh. So one more kingdom was taken over by companies, was Awadh. This time the British had added argument that they said they were obliged to duty to take over Awadh because of the misgovernment of Nawab. So what is the reason which the British East India Company mentioned to capture Awadh? They said that the Nawab of Awadh is not doing his duty properly. Question comes here, who are the British East India Company to decide about rule of Nawab? Just they wanted a reason to tell. That is what it is said, that British East India Company were obliged by duty to take over Awadh in order to free the people from the misgovernment of Nawab. So what they said? They were forced to take Awadh. Why they were forced to take Awadh? Because so that they can protect Awadh from the misgovernment of Nawab of Awadh. So people of Awadh joined the revolt of 1857. So why people of Awadh joined the revolt of 1857? Because of the humiliation done by the British East India Company. Now you see, the map clearly explains about areas under British rule. Areas not under British rule. So this is areas not under the British rule, and these are the areas under the British rule. Okay. Compare the map. Here you can see only Banaras, Calcutta and the coastal part of Orissa and Andhra Pradesh and Madras under the control of British rule. But in the second map you see areas under the British rule, how the British increased their dominance over several parts of India. Okay, so this entire area, territories were annexed by the British by 1856 by wars, not only by wars but also by the policies like doctrine of lapse and subsidiary alliance system. Now look at this map. This is the political map of the British rule by 1856. So now here you see areas not under the British rule and areas under the British rule. Now you see the areas under the British rule. Almost major part of Indian province was under the control of the British rule. Madras and the Goa area, Madhya Pradesh area, Bengal, even up to Afghanistan, Lahore, Punjab. Okay, so the most of the area under the control of the British East India Company. So that is what it is always said. Expansion of British territorial power in India. Look at the map along with the present day political map of India. Each of these maps and try to identify the different parts of India that were not under the British rule. So this activity you can do. Identify this area, identify this, of course this state, and Kathmandu, of course that's a clue given to you. So identify the area which is not under control of British East India Company's rule. Okay, hope you are able to follow me. Now the final topic related to this chapter, that is setting up a new administration. What is new administration and what is the difference between old administration and a new administration? You know very well that the British East India Company introduced several administrative reforms in India, starting from Lord Warren Hastings. Lord Warren Hastings Governor General from 1773 to 1785. So Warren Hastings, the Governor General of India from 1773 to 1785, he played a major role in expansion of company's rule in India. So expansion of British East India Company's rule, Warren Hastings played a major role. By his time, the company acquired power not only in Bengal but also in Bombay and Madras. So try to understand the areas which the British East India Company increased their power. One is Bengal Presidency, second Bombay, and third is Madras. Please write down. So the British East India Company expanded their power in the following regions. The British territories broadly divided into administrative presidencies. So the British East India Company divided their entire administration under 3 headquarters. They are called presidencies. So the 3 presidencies of British East India Company, that is Bengal Presidency, Madras Presidency and Bombay Presidency. So please write down. So like today we have states and capital cities, that is national capital and state capital. To make administration simple, that is the way, that's why the country is divided into various states. The same way, to ease or to make the rule easy, the British East India Company divided that entire territory into 3 presidencies. One is Bengal Presidency, second is Madras, third is Bombay Presidency. Now one interesting fact you have to understand here, British, they are not interested to capture power in present day the capital city of our country, that is Delhi. Why they were not so much keen in Delhi? Why they were not so much keen in Delhi? Can you answer? Because Delhi is not a major trading center for them. That's the reason why. And accessibility of sea route to Delhi is not near like Bengal, Madras and Bombay. So British, no, they were not so keen to have rule in Delhi. It's happened only after 1858. Each presidency ruled by governor. So each presidency, that means how many presidencies were there? 3 presidencies. Each presidencies were ruled by a governor. The supreme head of the administration was Governor General. So Governor General is the final or supreme head of English East India Company in India. So who is the first Governor General of India? That is Warren Hastings, Lord Warren Hastings, the first Governor General of India. So first Governor General of India, Lord Warren Hastings. He introduced several administrative reforms, mainly in the field of justice. That is what we call today as court, civil and criminal procedure courts. So let us understand once again. Let us try to go through the topic once again. British East India Company ruled India under 3 presidencies, that is Bengal Presidency, Madras Presidency and Bombay Presidency. And once they started ruling India, they introduced several reforms in the field of justice, that is means law, administration of law or justice, and they also introduced in the field of military. Today Indian Army, most of the etiquettes of Indian Army or the training style of Indian Army, it is started from the British rule or the British East India Company initially, later by the British administration directly. So later on, means next video session, of course, will continue what are the administrative reforms introduced by the British East India Company and later by the British Queen in the field of law, administration of law or in the field of military administration. So that is what setting up of new administration. So cadets, please go through each and every underlined topic very carefully, because it's very important from the examination point of view. Take care. Wish you a wonderful day. Thank you.